So today we are making lasagna. I love lasagna. This is going to be a very, very simple recipe. You know, something that's easy to make, that you can make at home, completely vegan, of course. I don't like to do too much with my lasagnas. I think I put like the mostly typical ingredients in there. So right now I'm just finished cutting up my garlic, and now I'm cutting up my onion. I actually learned how to cut an onion while working at a community kitchen with chefs and stuff. I didn't know how to cut an onion before, but now I know it's quicker and easier, more sufficient this way. So that's why I'm choosing it to do it this way. But yeah, so I'm just gonna cut that up. And next I have a green pepper. So these are kind of like the basis, the flavoring vegetables. Your garlic, your green pepper, your onion. These are the vegetables that will add flavor to your sauce. Obviously we're going to season it too, but you got like certain vegetables that you use that are kind of like seasoning vegetables. They're there to just, add flavor. And then you have, even though they do have nutritional value to them, but you also have your vegetables that are for nutritional value. I mean, we add onions, garlic, and green peppers to like everything. So I don't normally include those in like my daily vegetable intake, just because I eat them like every day. So if I include those, and I could be like, if I include those in my vegetable intake, then I'm not getting a good variety of vegetables during my day, and I want to make sure I'm varying in them. So I kind of don't include them because I kind of put these vegetables in everything. So I don't know, that's just the way it goes. So now next I am going to be heating up about a tablespoon or so of oil, of grapeseed oil or olive oil, inside of a big pot. Gonna get that nice and heated and add in my onions, green pepper, and garlic. So it shows that I didn't add my garlic at this time. I added it a little bit later. I kind of like to get my vegetables, the onions and peppers, kind of going a little bit before I add my garlic, because I don't want to burn my garlic. And I always season every layer. So I've got some pink Himalayan sea salt and some fresh black pepper, and I'm just seasoning up my vegetables. I did add in the garlic. But next I want to cut up some zucchini. I love zucchini. It's a great vegetable, especially in your lasagnas. So I'm going to cut it into like 3 slices, as you can see, and then I'm going to cube them that way, because I didn't want them too big, because you don't need really big unless you like it really chunky. Some people don't really like really chunky stuff, vegetables in their food, and I find that smaller chunks are kind of better for like eating them, and yeah, just better to eat. I don't know, like it's weird when you just kind of chomp into a big old piece of vegetable, even though sometimes I like it, but not all the time. But I'm only going to use like 1.5 of zucchini, so the other half is going to go right into the fridge. I'm going to use it later on for something different. So that's what that is. And then next we are going to cut up some eggplant. They call it a aubergine, I think, in the UK, but we call it an eggplant. I don't know why we call it an eggplant. It doesn't look nor taste like an egg. Somebody comment below why we named it eggplant, because I have no idea. But I'm going to use some of that. I'm not going to use the whole thing. Probably going to make an eggplant sandwich later on with the rest. But I'm also going to cube those babies. Also don't want really big eggplant chunks in there either. So, I mean, most of it is going to be cubed. A lot of people don't like eggplant, which I love eggplant. I think it tastes really good if it's prepared right. Some people don't like the texture, but I think the texture is really good in it. It's very good for you. So I enjoy me some eggplants. So you can see my noodles. I use actually whole wheat lasagna noodles. At this point I had already added in the garlic, and I did not show me, but I actually cut up some oyster mushrooms too to add in there. And I did not make my own tomato sauce. I used the canned pre-made tomato sauce, but you can make your own. If you want me to show a video on me making my own tomato sauce, I will. I actually pre-prepped my vegetables. I seasoned the vegetables with salt, pepper, and some basil. That's what seasoning you saw on there. Now I'm just mixing that in. You're gonna see me season my sauce. So I'm seasoning with some paprika. I use salt and pepper, of course. That's garlic powder. Gotta love my garlic powder. Got some onion powder. Add a little bit more. Also gonna put some onion powder in there. Let me see what I'm putting next. So actually, this is oregano. So I threw some oregano in there. Threw some. We kind of watching this at the same time, y'all. So it is what it is. Threw some oregano. That's some basil. You know, gotta hook it up. And I'm pretty sure I put some onion powder in there too. Red pepper flakes. Red chili flakes. I'm sorry. I think I did put some. Did I not put onion powder? Oh, there it is. There's the onion powder. I was like, hold on. I know I put some onion powder in there. I'm gonna stir that up real nice. So I usually season my sauces in 2 rounds. So I'll let that simmer for a while. Then I'll taste it and then, adjust seasonings from there. I don't really use measurements. I let the ancestors speak to me. But seriously, just, how things are supposed to taste. So just kind of do it to your knowledge, you know what I mean? Trust yourself in your gut that you can actually season things correctly. So I actually got this, use whatever faux meat that you would like in your sauce. This is what I chose to use. It's wholly similar. It's like an Italian sausage. So now I'm gonna put olive oil at the bottom of my pan. I don't know why I did this. I just felt like, why not put some oil at the bottom? Because oil, extra fat, extra flavor. I don't know. So this is the sauce without the meat in there. I just put a couple spoonfuls at the bottom because you don't want the noodles to stick to the bottom of the pan. So I just wanted to well coat it with some sauce at the bottom of the pan. And I add my whole wheat lasagna sheets to there, and we're gonna layer this baby up. This basically, lasagna is nothing but spaghetti pie. It's just a spaghetti cake. I don't know, but I love it so much. It's really good. Oh, one thing I also put in my sauce, don't judge me, don't shoot me. If you don't like it, don't do it. But I also put some sugar sweetener in there, maple syrup to sweeten it because I like my sauce sweet. But anyways, this is tofu ricotta. It's nothing but silken tofu. I use extra firm silken tofu, lemon juice, some basil, oregano, salt and pepper, garlic, and onion powder. And I mix that together to make this silken ricotta tofu, which is amazing. I probably would not use extra firm again. That was my first time using extra firm. I usually just use the regular soft silken tofu because it gives you a more silky texture, more similar to ricotta. So that's something I'll probably do differently. Is do more of a medium, not so firm. I'm also adding in some fresh basil onto the layered on there too. Extra flavor. I think it's not Italian food without basil. Okay, I shouldn't make that accent because that's racist. But yeah, it wouldn't be Italian without some extra basil. So I'm throwing it in there. Even though Italians, they don't put sugar in their sauce, I do. I'm American and I'm ripping off Italian food. So shoot me, fight me, Italians. I'm sorry. So yeah, so I'm just putting the sauce all over there, making the layers of the sauce on there. So it could be nice and good. Next, I'm gonna layer the cheese. Use whatever non-dairy mozzarella cheese that you would like. to put on there. Put as little or as much cheese as you would. I honestly would have added more cheese, but I didn't want the cheese to like overpower other flavors, because sometimes non-dairy, depending on the taste of it, can overpower. But put as little as you liked. I used about 1.5 bags, but I'll probably use 2 whole bags the next time I make it. I always change my recipes, always change every time I make something, because I kind of do things from memory. I don't necessarily rely on recipes. Sometimes I do rely on recipes if I'm trying something new, or if I'm looking for a new recipe or something like that. I think that using recipes is a really good tool to learn how to cook new things. And I especially did that when I was learning how to cook plant-based. I wanted to expand my palate and diet, so I taught myself how to cook using Pinterest recipes. So in YouTube, being on YouTube, looking at how other people cook. So I'm layering my noodles on there. I actually did them opposite way this time. I just kind of ripped them off of each other. That's how I got them to be the length that I needed. You can see the edges are all jagged. And this time I actually used all of the ricotta on that first layer. So this layer is no ricotta. It's just the sauce on there. And gonna layer that up real nicely on there, just like we did before. The meat that I use is a soy-based meat, so it's a lot of soy in this recipe. The meat is soy-based, and then also the tofu, but it's very rich in protein. And it's hearty because of all of the tomato sauce, the zucchini, the bell peppers, the onions, the garlic, stuff like that, the basil, the eggplant. Very good. So as you can see, I use Daiya cheese, but use whatever cheese that you would like. I personally like Daiya cheese. It melts very well, and it has a great taste to it. So I personally really like that cheese. So I'm using the rest of that bag and about a half of, excuse me y'all, that's nasty. I ain't mean to do all that in your ear. But I also season it. So I season the top with a little bit of garlic powder, just a tincture of garlic powder, some oregano. I'll put some basil and some red pepper flakes on the top of there too. Look at that, looking good. Eat. Unfortunately, I don't have a video of me pulling it out the oven, so I'm sorry about that, but I do have some close-ups, so y'all can enjoy these close-ups that's coming up. Bow. Bow. I served it up with a nice